Hello, my dear followers and friends. Sad Sangat, I'm back. This time to talk about Mars stationing direct and going forward, finally, the last stretch. I'm here to talk about what are the effects of Mars. I already did a video about Mars in general for the 6 months period from mid-year until January, in fact, and what the effects would be, right? Because it's unusual for Mars to stay in a sign for 6 months, but this time Mars is in his home sign of Aries and going retrograde and now going back forward. So this is a very important point, and it happens tomorrow, Friday, January the 13th, Friday the 13th. So it is a challenging energy, and that's why I chose to speak about it this time, especially because Mars, if we remember, Mars started the cycle with the three major planets, players in the zodiac in Capricorn in the month of March. And now he is stationing at 15 degrees, right? And is holding that position for 20 days. It happened and it entered the 15th mark in November, on November 4th, and it will stay on that degree up until the 24th. So it is very interesting to consider that this, according to Nikola Stoyanovich, he assigns a sign to every degree, and it seems very valid, at least this time, because the 15th degree will correspond to the sign of Gemini, which is really the sense of separation from the environment, the separation from the other, and the duality. And as we see right now all over the world, this duality has taken a dimension of polarity, opposition, confrontation, right? So it is very eloquent to find Mars at the 15th degree mark with that meaning of the sense that we are separated from the other, that is like Gemini is the sign where when the child starts growing up, you know, the birth is indicated by Aries, and then the concern about staying alive and having enough food, right, is Taurus. And then he grows, or she, the baby grows some more and starts to relate to the environment, to find out that he is inside an environment, inside a context, right? And the baby starts relating to that environment through conceptualization, through perception, through the mind processes that include naming, labeling things, mama or mom, dad, um, the the food, the table, and parents starts to teach the child that there is a world around it. And this is the first time that the person starts feeling or experiencing this separation from that I am here, and the environment is outside. And that is a fiction. That is a fiction, because we belong all together with everything, with nature, with, we are all one essence. It's not it's just an earthly perception within this physical plane that we need in order to make this experience, but it's not the real thing. And I think Mars at this 15th degree is making us coming back to that experience of contention or conflict with everything that is outside of us. Be it relationships, be it the outside world, and things that are happening that uh, we don't agree with, and we feel separated. On top of that, the decan that the 15th degree corresponds is the mid of Aries. So it is the midpoint, but it corresponds to the decan of Leo. And that reinforces this Mars sense of independence, individualism, and also being the star of the moment, you know, feeling that you are the most important person now, and that your will, or your Mars, right, your will, and that your sense of independence and your autonomy, right? Because when Aries is the sign of birth, right, is the sign of initiating things. So what happens is that we the sense of our um, being, our the sense of being someone different, someone new, or having the power to initiate, the will to do things, is accentuated by the decan indicated by Leo, right? And it's also reinforcing the sense of me first. I am first. I am the one who has the reason. I am right. Right. Leo is the sign of a king, the sign of the ruler, right? So some people may feel very entitled to their own ideas and imposing their ideas because of this strong Leo energy of this deacon. Also, I looked up the Dwad, and the Dwad is even a different subdivision in Hindu astrology, but it is very illustrative about this because it is Scorpio, the Dwad corresponding to the 15th degree. It is the sign of Scorpio, and this sign is the sign of very intense, volatile. It's also ruled by Mars, and it's a water sign, which is emotions. And if you mix water, Scorpio, with Leo, which is fire, it is really volatile. It brings out this energy of strong, very strong emotions, and the all of or nothing. Scorpio is either birth or dead. So it is very extreme. And also it could be manipulative, right? Scorpio always uses underhanded methods and strategies, right? Mars in Scorpio as the ruler, the traditional ruler of Scorpio, would give us strategies that are kind of shady, and also secrets, right? Doing those actions to defend ourselves or to impose what our ideas or actions are, impose them with some obscure and secret dealings, because Scorpio is not direct. It always goes, Scorpio is the symbol is the scorpion, which hides in a black hole, right? Deep into the earth. And it hides there, and it's waiting for the moment to sting, right? The prey, and oftentimes the prey comes to the scorpion inside the hole. And since the prey doesn't see it, because not only the hole is uh, black, right, hidden inside the earth, but the scorpion is also black. So the prey doesn't see it, and then the scorpion has the power to bite on it and kill it. So these are the energies that are playing out with Mars at 15th degree. So Mars will be, during the time Mars was retrograde, what happened is that it was like the Jack in the Box, Mars in the box. So when the box is open, right, the punch burst out and up. And so Mars retrograde was the Mars in the box, right? And then now that is going direct, it's like the punch that goes up. So that can be a really violent punch. So because now Mars is kind of free to act, free to do things that were brewing right before in frustration. Mars was accumulating, the spring that was under pressure inside the box, right, was accumulating energy. It was compressed inside the box. And once now Mars goes direct, it's liberating all that energy that was frustrated and compressed inside. So, and Mars in Aries doesn't really care about others. It only, it is completely inconsiderate of others. Is just serving the self, right? It's me first, me second, and me last, and always me. So that's the lowest energy of Aries, right? It could be also assertiveness and to fight for what is fair and right. But the problem with Mars is that it is still within the range of the by sign, the square to those planets in Capricorn. So I will encourage you to watch my Mars in Aries protagonist of the second half of 2020, which is a video that I did a while ago. And I'll put the link in the description box for you to see the whole range of Aries Mars in Aries, which has been a very, very important transit this half of the year. And as you can see, because of the developments that are going on right now, not only in the US, but around the world, the uprisings, social unrest and protests all over the place, in the quest for a more equitable society, you know, where people are demanding to be heard, right? And to be recognized. Aries is the sign that it's here I am, is the sign of birth. I am. The sign that where the person takes a body and here I am, right? When the baby comes to life, is showing itself as an entity, as a physical reality. And so Mars in Aries is defending that right to be, right to exist. People are asking for fairness, for justice, social especially, and the fair distribution of resources, for example. But Aries is also, and Mars is also an energy that demands honesty, right? Aries is cannot tolerate dishonesty. It's something that is deeply ingrained in their energy, that they are outraged by dishonesty, hypocrisy, lies, and deception. Aries is frontal, right? It is represented by the ram, and the ram, you know, has this burst of energy that charges directly without thinking many times. It is very unconscious, is very driven by the natural impetus, the natural force inside that demands life, that demands to be recognized as life. So, and yeah, there is nothing that can can outrage more an Aries than dishonesty, right? And telling and dishonesty and you know, shady things, those are not compatible with Aries or with Mars, as I said. So here is the chart of the moment right now. And as you see, we have 11 points of cardinal. This is extremely tense. We have an energy that is extremely tense right now, and it's impulsing, it's pushing us to change something in our lives. So wherever, this is the chart, the general chart, the location is in Central Texas, but wherever Mars is falling on your chart, that is the area of your life that will be triggered to action and to change something. And also, of course, it depends on your ascendant, which house Aries occupy, etc. And you need to consider as well Libra, because we have right now we have the moon in Libra, but in the house occupied by Capricorn, when I read the chart, I read with both porphyry and house system and the whole sign system, because they really help to analyze it that way. And as you see, we have at the present moment, we have the conjunction of Jupiter, Pluto, and Pallas Athene. And I have a blog about this. I will put the link in the description below so you can read about today's. It's very, very important conjunction. This is increase of power, right? And other things that I describe in the blog. So I encourage you to go there and read, because this is very important for you wherever the Capricorn sign falls, or wherever house Capricorn falls on your chart. And remember, it is very cardinal, so change is on the horizon. You want it or not, there's something that you need to change. With the especially now the moon is in opposition to Mars, and we have Maki opposed to Chiron. This is very important, right? Maki encourages us to go within and explore our inner insecurities or inner imbalances, right? Libra is the sign of finding balance. And so it encourages us to find this balance within us in order to be able to relate to the other, and to appease that rebellious energy of Aries. So there is this need to rebalance things. And that's all I'm going to say about the present chart. Let me change here the exact time of the day for Central Texas. For the conjunction, as you see, Jupiter, Pluto, and Pallas Athene at 22 degrees 52 minutes happens at 4:30 p.m. And Central Texas will be, this is Eastern time, so it'll be 3:30 p.m. In Texas. So here we are at 22 degrees 52, and this brings me back to January the 12th, when Saturn and Pluto joined forces in Capricorn, and the whole debacle started. This whole catastrophe, I would say natural catastrophe, because the virus, it's affecting life in general on Earth, our human life, but also, as you heard probably in Denmark, minks were also attained or sickened by the virus, and the government decided to eliminate them. So I was wondering how many jumps the virus will do into other species, you know, that may affect all kinds of species and life on Earth. So this is really very concerning. Minks are, I think, the first ones to where the virus jumped, but who knows? Maybe later it will jump into another species. So this is very concerning, not only for humans, but for life in general. And that is the square. Saturn is squaring Haumea. So Saturn is restricting or bringing some kind of nuisance or limits, right? Limits to life. Haumea is the planet representing fecundity and fertility and reproduction, right? It was the Hawaiian goddess of fertility. She would generate from her own body, arms and legs and body. She will give birth to those beings, right? So it is life itself, represented by this newfound planet that came to our consciousness. So we need to take into account that Saturn is affecting Saturn, the energy of Saturn in Capricorn, whatever governmental institutions, decisions, and measures and regulations are taken are really affecting and limiting and constraining life in general on Earth. So there is this urgency to change, right? To change. That's why we have opposite. We have Aries. Aries is the planet of discord. She is also fighting for what is fair, honest, and the protection of life itself in Aries, as I explained before. So this is a very important conjunction at the present time, which is today in the afternoon in general for the whole United States. So you need to look up the time for other places in the world, but it's today. So here we see the beginning of Mars cycle with Jupiter. And this happened March 20th, 2020. I hope this brings back memories for you. It was the start of the confinement or isolation and other things that happened as well. If you are writing your journal, you may go back to that because, of course, in your personal life, other things were happening. And why do I bring up this? Because we need to look at Mars station direct now in square to that Capricorn energy in the context of the whole cycle, Mars, Jupiter, Mars, Pluto, and Mars, Saturn, right? Because we saw that once Mars arrived in Aries, it squared the three of them successively, and then it went back retrograde and squared them again, and now Mars will square them again. So what happens when a planet starts a cycle, right? It defines a certain energy, and that was the energy of the pandemic. It was, I think, about those days when the virus, the illness was recognized as a pandemic. So here in Aries is the first quarter square, which is the crisis in action. And as we see the third wave of the pandemic now peaking, especially with the conjunction that I just mentioned, Jupiter-Pluto, right now, today, it is Mars that defines the pace of actions. We are already talking about successful vaccines. We won't know until they are proven to be in the population large. But for now, we have this moment, this crisis in action, that we need to do something about it. If you see, for example, this chart of the conjunction of Mars and Jupiter in March 20th, we see cardinal 7 points and fixed 7 points. So there was a clash between the status quo and keeping things as they were, and the cardinal, the demand of change. So they were clashing. Those forces of cardinal and fixed were clashing. People wanted things to be as normal. And the cardinal energy said, well, there's a need to change here. And as I mentioned before, Haumea, Saturn and Pluto is squaring Haumea. So both of them are bringing toxic things that threaten life and fertility and fecundity and the progress of life on Earth. So later, 2 days after Mars conjunct Pluto on the 22nd, let me animate this by day. Okay, so here we have 2 days later on March 22nd, we have Mars conjunct Pluto. And about 10 days later, it will conjunct, let me show you, 10 days later, on the 31st, it conjuncts Saturn. Okay. So here it is, Mars conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries, which is very significant. The 0 of, not Aries, of Aquarius, I'm sorry. So 0 degree is the most powerful degree in a sign. In this case is the air sign. The need, let me go back to the conjunction of Pluto, Saturn, Pluto, was the increase on the 22nd. The Pluto-Mars conjunction is power, is force and position and fight, right? And it's drilling, they're both the rulers of Scorpio, right? The traditional ruler of Scorpio is Mars, the modern ruler is Pluto. And being together, they are emphasizing this life and death energy, this all or nothing energy, and this powerful transformative energy. So we, on the 22nd, I think people got to realize that this was really a threat to life, right? Scorpio, as I said, is the a sign of transformation by crisis, by near-death experiences, and also the transformation through the occult, through things that are hidden and secret. So there were so many things in our reality, right, in our circumstances, and that was probably also awakening those conspiracy theories and imaginations of threats that were hidden, you know, and all kinds of extreme things, right? Talking about death and corruption, right? Scorpio is the sign of corruption. So Mars and Pluto started digging out with that conjunction the miasma, the rotten things in the earth. So, and the conjunction of Mars and Jupiter happening at 22 degrees was the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, as I said. So there is all this decay that we need to get rid of. You know, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is a cycle that took 500 years. So we are getting rid of everything that got decayed and rotten during all those 500 years. So it is a lot. And like every cycle in nature, right, we see the seasons in nature. And by the time that the summer ends and the fruits are already collected, then the trees are letting the leaves fall, and they're retracting their sap into the core, so to survive the winter. But it's also this sense of dying and preparing for the next season, right? So as humanity, we also need to purge what is decayed, like the leaves of the trees. Humanity also needs to let go of everything that is rotten, decayed, and corrupted. And as I said, 500 years is a lot of corruption. Plus, I mentioned before that this conjunction happened with the south node, the planetary south node of Pluto and Saturn. So those are the planetary south nodes talk about karmic past, right? And plus, at that time, the south node of the moon was also in Capricorn, and the eclipses were happening on the south node. Some of the eclipses were happening on the south node. So it was plenty to let us know that there were things to be purged, things to be dejected, like also the digestion, right? I'm a Virgo rising, so I can't avoid talking about digestion and how we separate what is good from what is bad, and we defecate what is not good anymore. Otherwise, if we keep all that shit inside, then we will be dead. And this is the message of these conjunctions and these planetary energies, that if we don't purge what is already rotten, we will die. And this is something that many people don't understand, why we cannot go back to normal. Well, we won't. God will go back to that normal. We will create a new normal. We need fresh start. We need a fresh beginning. And this is what Mars and Saturn is showing at 0 degree of Aquarius. What happens is that now we are encouraged, since Jupiter and Saturn will also conjunct in December at 0 degree Aquarius. We will start developing more intellectual resources, right? We need to start becoming more mentally and intellectually inquisitive, and look for scientific proven data and information, not beliefs or emotions or material things will ever satisfy the new normal. We need to become more intellectually developed, right? And this is the square that the upcoming square of Mars direct in Aries to Saturn. It will and Saturn will be then in Aquarius again. So what happens here is that we are then required to take action, Mars in Aries, to get started on this new mental development, intellectual development, scientific development, and also this will bring as well regulations on information, on broadcast of news, on the internet flow, etc. So we need to come back to discipline in our intellectual processes. We need to go back to integrity and discipline with our mind. And this can only be achieved through education, real education with critical thinking, and not only absorbing what the media or the Facebook tells us, but thinking for ourselves. Um, so this is Mars stationing now. One more thing that I need to point out about Mars stationing now direct November 13, which is tomorrow, Friday, is that the 15th degree Mars for the first time reached that degree on July 25th. So you only have to go back to the information, the news at that time, and you will find for example, governments will call for schools to reopen. There were also kind of dubious virus remedies backed officially in Latin America, for example, people looking for remedies, and they would investigate anything, even things that were not proven, right, because of desperation. And some of them were confirmed good, others were not, and at least to some extent, etc. So now that is stationed again at that degree, we can see the similar themes, like finding, for example, now we are hearing about vaccines being already ready for to be distributed in the public, to the public. For example, we may also see other news about schools. We already have schools and universities and other educational institutions changing and adapting to the spread of the virus and the pandemic, because they need to adjust once their cases encouraging, isolation and quarantine of those people who are sick, etc., because the healthcare system was not prepared for this kind of events. And now we are under this huge challenge of the pandemic surging to levels that the healthcare systems are not ready or able to cope with. So I think all of this, and again, see the cardinal points are 6 and fixed are 6. Again, clashing this cardinal and fixed energies again in this chart. Like before, we want the status quo that we were living before, but it's not possible. We are with this urge to change things, and there's a resistance to change, right, because of the fixed being equal amount of fixed and cardinal energies. There is this clash, but rest assured that things got to give in your personal life, in the public sphere, in the mundane. Things are to change. So thank you for watching, and I hope this kind of explanation helps you, the interpretation for your personal life. If you like, you can order a reading with me. Otherwise, what you can do is check your Aries and Libra and Capricorn houses. Those are the houses that are triggered to change. And then if you have questions, I also have a one question reading that is less expensive. You can order that with me. So meanwhile, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best. Thank you now, and I'll see you next time.